Hey everybody, Brian from Innisfil Creek Honey, continuing our episodes on how to make $100,000 off a honey house or a shed. Today we're going to talk about signage. So if you have some kind of a stand, whatever it is, you have your product available for sale in it, you now need to let people on the roads know that you have stuff for sale and hopefully entice them to come into your property. So I'll just take you a walk around just a little bit of the laneway here. Right at the end of the laneway, we have a honey for sale sign. On that sign, we have some other, the farmers organizations, the Ontario Beekeeping Association on there, things like that we have on there. When you come into the laneway, we have our honey house here, and as a way to let people know that we have stuff for sale and where it is for sale on our honey house, we have multiple signs on it, lots of bright little things, a Canadian flag, wood for sale over here, farm fresh, big open sign. At night the sign comes on so it actually glows open. We have lighting all the way around, Christmas lights that are on all year round, just to light it up so people know that this is the place they're supposed to go when they pull in the laneway to buy products from us. And it's really important to make sure you have things highlighted really well, because even with all of these signs and a glowing red open sign on, self-serve on the window over here, we still have people knocking on the door of our house wondering where the honey is for sale. So you have to really look at that. People, when they pull in your laneway, the first thing that's going to happen, they're going to pull in that laneway. We have a huge laneway. You can fit about 15, 16 cars in this laneway. The first thing that's going to happen is they're going to be confused. They're not going to know where to park because we don't have any lines and we don't have any parking spots in our laneway. So they already have that to deal with. And now they have to figure out where the store is. And you have to make sure they have every ability to really notice where you want them to enter the store. Okay? So that's our honey for sale shed, and that's all the signs on the outside. Now on the inside, you have to have signage to tell them what to do when they come in here. Because when they come in, it's already a foreign environment to most of them. It's a laneway of somebody's house. There's a shed in the laneway, and all of a sudden they walk into a store basically, and there's nobody here to even tell them what to do, which is different than anything they normally go to. So what we have in here is we have a sign at the top, how to pay, all the different ways to pay it. We have a big sign on our money box here, telling people where to put their money. We have 24-hour surveillance signs all over the place so that they know they're on camera. Camera up there, camera outside, a couple cameras on the house. We have a fridge for eggs with eggs on it, so people know that that fridge has eggs on it. And then on the other side, on the products we don't actually make, so we do all the honey stuff. We actually have signage letting them know who makes those products, so they know where they come from. And for us, that's important to know. We want to sell the products we make, let them know we make them. We want to sell the products we don't make. We want to let them know that we don't make them, and who does. Honesty is really important when you're doing some sort of a farmer's stands like this. If people think you don't make your products, eventually they're not going to show up because they think you don't make the products. Anyway, so that's signage here. I'm going to head out in the van, take a drive up and down the road, and I'm going to show you the other signage we have available, just to make sure hopefully people can pull in that laneway and know ahead of time so that they can pull in that laneway. Anyways, see you in a little bit. So we're just south of our house, about a kilometer and a half, and we're driving up north on the road I'm going to speed up to about 80 kilometers an hour. It's, a little slower than most people drive on this road, but it'll give you a representation of what you're looking for when people are driving down the road. As they're driving down the road, it takes a long time for them to figure out what's going on and if they should possibly stop somewhere. So having a sign at the end of your road or end of your laneway is fantastic, but that really doesn't give them enough time to figure out if they want to stop or not and how they should stop or things. So they need about 158 feet, 200 feet to figure that out. So as you're driving up to my place, on the right-hand side on this pole here is a little sign. It says honey. It's another little sign, not big enough to be annoying. It says honey. Just big enough for somebody to maybe see and look at and go, hey, wait, what's that word there for? And then if you look on the left here, big yellow sign, honey, maple syrup, eggs. Then there's my laneway with the honey shop in, and another sign that says honey. Honey is what I mainly want to sell. The other items are listed on the big sign. So when you're trying to sell something, really important to notify people way ahead of time what you're trying to sell, so it can start their brain thinking about, hey, honey, that's kind of cool. I need honey. Honey's kind of cool. Honey's good for your allergies. And then they see the next sign, honey. Oh, wow, that honey is kind of, there must be some place around here selling honey. Oh, geez, there it is. There's the place selling honey. And they've already slowed down in their mind, and they've already have their attention, and it's more likely that they'll actually pull in that first time. Anyways, we're going to head up north now, and we're going to head south towards our house so I can show you from that side how we handle the signage coming into our house. So now we're north of the house, and we're heading south, driving about 80 kilometers an hour, the speed normal people would drive on this road, probably a little slower actually. And heading from the north, headed south down the road. When people drive down the road, there's a bit of trees in the way. If you look to the right here, there's a little sign on the pole to the right, it says honey. Then the pole coming up on the right says the word honey. Makes people think, hey, well, that's kind of neat. There's a sign. It's not big enough to really annoy anybody or stand out, but they might start looking for something. And then on the back of the honey house is a big, big sign, not saying my name, it's saying honey. And it's really important to not really worry about your name. You're not selling your name, you're selling honey to people. And those people that are coming to you for the first time don't know your name. They know that they might want honey. So it's really important to think about that. Honey should be the biggest thing, or eggs, or maple syrup. Don't worry about putting, Johnson's Farm on your sign. Nobody knows what Johnson's Farm is, but they know what eggs are. They know what honey is. They know what firewood is. They know those things. Try to use big buzzwords to sell your product and not your name at the beginning. Once you have a name figured out and people know what your name is and know what you sell, then you can start, advertising with your name. Signage. Letting people know that you have something for sale and what that is. Enticing those people to come into your laneway so that they'll buy stuff, give you money for your products. I see so many people, they have a really beautiful sign, they have a really great logo. People don't know what they have for sale. If you look at the signs behind me, Innisfil Creek is really small. Honey is huge. For sale is huge. Who I am matters less than what I have for sale. You want to really blink out there. If you have firewood for sale, you want to have a big fire, maybe a big picture or logo of a big fire and the word firewood. You don't even have to have your name on the sign. It doesn't matter what your name is. It's you have firewood for sale. I have eggs for sale. You want to have eggs for sale. Big egg, big word eggs. You want to have signs up and down the ditches on both sides of your property, heading away from your property, so that people are aware that you have that for sale, whatever that item is, well before they get to your laneway. It takes a long time for people to realize that they're seeing a sign, figure out what that sign says, then decide whether they need that thing or not before they even get to your house. If you have a sign at the end of your laneway, by the time they see the sign, they're 50 feet from your laneway. By the time they decide they want what you have for sale, they're 200 feet past your laneway. They're not going to turn around. You need to let them know way before. So go out to your signage, look at your properties. Make sure you don't piss off your neighbors. You don't want to put signs in front of your neighbor's property advertising your place unless you have their permission. If you live in a rural area, you can head up and down the road and put them on the ditches. Whether your town lets you to do that or not, I'm assuming it's not legal to screw signs to a telephone pole that's not on your property. So you got to look at all those bylaws and legalities of signage. But yeah. Anyways, Brian from Innisfil Creek Honey, get out there, sell stuff from your house, make some money.